good people? This is the 8-bit animal. And Acclaim. That's where I'm starting. Acclaim. A lot of companies got their hands on a lot of licenses to movies and TV shows and old arcade games and all manner of other stuff. And Acclaim pumped out a whole bunch of bad games as a result, right? Well, this was the fourth and final game featuring, well, was it the final one or did the other thing happen after? I don't know. This was one of 4 very mediocre to bad video games released that were tied into the Simpsons. And we know that Simpsons games could have been good. Remember the Konami beat 'em up? Remember Simpsons Hit and Run? Simpsons games could be good. But we got so many of these over the years that it was actually a bit numbing. This game is from 1992. And much like a bunch of the other stuff developed for Acclaim based on The Simpsons, it was developed by Imagineering, who also did Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and Bart vs. the Space Mutants. Today, we're going to take a look at Bartman Meets Radioactive Man with Fallout Boy. Alright, Jiminy Jillikers. Radioactive Man gets captured. Fallout Boy ends up seeking out the only man who can rescue him, Bartman. And this game, the material means that it could have been good, but alas, absolutely terrible. It's on the wrong side of mediocre, if you get me. Controls are bad. They reused the same Bart Simpson sprite that they used on pretty much every Simpsons NES game where Imagineering had a hand in it. So yeah, bad video game, bad controls, lack of the theme music to The Simpsons, kind of ugly game. Yeah, this one wasn't gonna fail well. This one really wasn't gonna fail well. The only good parts of this game are the couple of shmup levels, and I know, I love a shmup, but when that shmup level is the only redeeming quality of your game, something quite ain't right though. Something don't sit right though. It ain't good. Everything about the Acclaim Simpsons games, except for Krusty's Funhouse, all of those games were bad. All of them. It doesn't make sense that they were bad. I mean, the source material is solid, it's fruitful, it's rife with opportunity to make good video games. But so many of these games are just dreadful. And I think the problem is that they just wanted to throw Bart, because he was the character that everybody, kind of knew and loved. They wanted to throw Bart in as many weird scenarios as possible. So you get Bart versus the Space Mutants, and Bart versus the world, and Bartman Meets Radioactive Man, and Bart. They could have did a skateboarding game starring the Simpsons, and it would have been all about Bart, because Bart was the one on skateboard. A racing game, Bart would have been racing Homer in The I forget what the car was called that Homer designed. Homer and Bart racing each other. Homer in that car, Bart on a skateboard. It never really meshed well and made sense to me, and that's what we ended up with. You know? This was a bad game. Through and through. Full stop. Now, if you decide you want a copy of Bartman Meets Radioactive Man, like $25 to $35, I want to say would be a good number. That's a good range for a copy of this game. You shouldn't pay more than that. Honestly, you shouldn't be paying that much. It's a bad video game. Stop paying more than it's worth for bad video games. I'm pretty sure there's a way you can play this elsewhere. This came out on the Game Gear. If you got a Game Gear, see if you can get a copy of it for the cheap on Game Gear. I don't know how much it costs on the Game Gear. I didn't look. But the NES version, it ain't worth the $25 to $35. And let's not even talk about complete copies going for like $100. No. Stop it. Stop it. This has been the 8-Bit Animal. And I'll catch you beautiful people tomorrow. Tomorrow. Now, why did it always feel like John Elway was playing second fiddle to Joe Montana? Maybe it was stuff like this game.